The member from Nipissing.
Thank you and good morning, Speaker. My question is for the Premier. This morning, the Financial Accountability Office released another indictment of this government. They said, quote, additional measures to raise revenue or lower spending will be required if the province intends to achieve a balanced budget. The Premier called the media from China to say she can't understand how anyone can find any savings. Yet last week, the Auditor General found $1 billion in savings in one report alone in just 14 programs. Speaker, the PC plan will look to save 2 cents on every dollar that is spent. Speaker, to the Premier, why is this government mired in waste, scandal and mismanagement instead of helping Ontario's families?
Thank you. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, I want to thank the FAO for his report, Mr. Speaker. He actually confirms that Ontario's economy is growing and he expects this growth to continue, Mr. Speaker. He also confirmed that under the accounting presentation that we've been using for the last 16 years, Mr. Speaker, the budget is balanced and, in fact, there's a small surplus for 2017-18, Mr. Speaker. So the report actually shows that our plan is working. The economy is growing. Our unemployment rate is the lowest it's been in 17 years, Mr. Speaker, and more than 843,000 net new jobs have been created since the recession. But, Mr. Speaker, the fact is that we continue to work to create more fairness in this province, Mr. Speaker. The reality is that there are still people who are not feeling the benefit of that economic growth, Mr. Speaker, and that's exactly why we're raising the minimum wage, Mr. Speaker. Exactly why OHIP Plus will be in place as of January 1st, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you.
And thank you.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Back to the Premier. Well, the FAO delivered a blistering indictment, Speaker, so it's obvious that the Premier read a different report than everybody else. The PC plan is different than the Liberal plan. The Financial Accountability Office said that government must either raise revenues or lower spending. Now, the Ontario PC plan will find 2 cents on every dollar through eliminating waste this government doesn't even believe exists. The Premier says savings are impossible. Well, if they can't see how to lower spending, Speaker, then the Premier must be raising taxes. So, Speaker, to the Premier, will we know before or after the election which taxes they intend to raise?
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the member opposite is part of a party that has promised that they would cut $12 billion out of health care and education and services in this province, Mr. Speaker. $12 billion. That would mean that in every community across this province, Mr. Speaker, in every community across this province, Mr. Speaker, the impact of those cuts would be felt. So, if the member opposite is asking whether we support cutting $12 billion out of program and services in this province, Mr. Speaker, the answer is no. We're very appreciative of the FAO's report. We're very appreciative that he recognizes the economic growth that we're seeing in this province, that he recognizes that the budget is balanced, Mr. Speaker, and we're going to continue to invest in the province and not cut $12 billion out of it.